And now we have this bombshell global study that links mRNA vaccines to serious increased kidney injury outcomes. And the headline says this is where the vaccine deaths are really hiding. So, a recent study led by Dr. Hyun Sok Hwang from Kyung-hee University Medical Center in South Korea, published in Scientific Reports, raises significant concerns about vaccine-associated kidney injuries. The researchers analyzed over 120 million pharmacovigilance reports from the WHO's own Vigibase, covering adverse drug reactions reported globally from 1967 to 2022. The findings suggest a substantial increase in reported cases of, and I'll just give you the acronyms here, AKI is acute kidney injury, GN and TIN, following vaccinations with COVID-19 mRNA vaccines, showing a disproportionately high number of cases. The researchers identified significant safety signals indicating a higher likelihood of vaccine-related kidney injury compared to the background rate in the WHO database. Data from over 150 countries were analysed, with the study specifically assessing whether the number of renal AEs associated with vaccines exceeded expected levels. Disproportionate signals were determined by evaluating the ratio of vaccine-related renal injury reports to those from other pharmaceuticals. Problematically, COVID-19 mRNA injections showed a significant disproportionate reporting of AKI, GN, and TIN. The ROR for AKI was 2.38, meaning individuals receiving these injections reported AKI at more than twice the rate of other drugs in the WHO database. But renal AEs surged post-2020. The overall reporting of vaccine-related kidney injuries spiked significantly after the widespread introduction of COVID-19 injections, with the Americas and Europe reporting the highest numbers. Also, the Korea-based authors report an overlap of renal injuries with severe systematic conditions. Now, the reason why this study matters so much is that we have a lot of focus on rarer outcomes from the COVID injections, and of course, a lot of attention on things like myocarditis. But according to John Bodwin, who's been investigating this for some time, sudden kidney failure began with COVID treatment and protocols and vaccines, not COVID. And he says this is an area that really hasn't gotten anywhere near enough attention. Kidney failure is one of your areas of expertise, if you will, and now we have this bombshell global study linking the mRNA injections to serious increased kidney injury outcomes. And really, this is where a lot of the death numbers are actually hiding. Talk to us about your research on this, John.
Let me give you an idea. In Massachusetts alone, 3,500 excess, more than normal, acute renal failures in the last 3 years, 4 years now. So it's closer to 4,000 now. But the numbers just keep going up. Turns out that the linearly increasing signal coincides with the rollout of the COVID vaccine. As people took more of them, the kidney failures went up. I looked at the United States, then I started doing states. 15,000 excess, more than 15,000 excess in Florida alone.
Wow.
Imagine losing 15,000 more people than normal from acute renal failure, and nobody says anything. It's there. It's over 220,000 across the United States now. And we're talking close to 250,000 people by a single cause of death. And because it goes down to very young ages, what you have is the greatest number of life years lost of anything in the last 100 years in the United States, except for World War II, which had a lot of young guys go and fight and die.
This is looking at the WHO's own data, and just back to the key findings. Talk to us about these ROR numbers. So we have the ROR for AKI was 2.38, meaning individuals receiving these vaccines reported AKI at more than, that's acute kidney injury, at more than twice the rate of other drugs in the WHO database.
In the AKI, but the glomerulonephritis, I think it was 13 times, 13 times. That's with the mRNA COVID vaccine specifically. So if you look at mRNA COVID vaccine, it's 13 times. You know, when a 45-year-old dies and their parents are still living, you've got two grieving parents and they have 3 or 4 children and a wife or a husband. You get a spouse, you get 3 kids, 2 parents, friends. You have a loss in society that's just devastating for several people. It creates depression for the rest of their lives. I lost my son in 2018 in a crash. He was 20. And I know what it's like to have your life ripped out from under you. I have no joy in life. I do this COVID stuff because I want to prevent other parents from having to lose their kids. That's why I do this. And it just kills me to see these huge numbers, and I can't get people to talk about anything but myocarditis. I mean, Maria, here's the number. Excess deaths from renal failure since COVID began is 150 times more than excess deaths from myocarditis.